two vast armies on opposite hills. The valley in between is silent but tense. In the ancient valley of Elah, two powerful nations prepared for war, the Israelites and the Philistines. But as swords were sharpened and shields raised, a terrifying figure emerged that would silence an entire army. Goliath stepping forward, clad in bronze, monstrous in size. Goliath of Gath, a warrior so massive and brutal, his armor alone weighed over 100 pounds. Day after day, he issued a challenge no man dared accept. Goliath pacing, shouting insults across the valley. Goliath shouting, "Is there no man among you brave enough to face me?" 40 days, 40 nights. The taunts echoed like a drumbeat, and every day the soldiers of Israel grew weaker, not in strength, but in spirit. A young boy, David, tending sheep on rolling hills. Far from the battlefield, a young shepherd boy named David was living a quiet life. He wasn't a soldier. He wasn't trained for war, but he knew courage in the face of fear. David playing his harp under the stars, protecting his flock. David had faced lions, bears, and the harsh elements. He had no army, but he had something more powerful, faith. David arriving at the battlefield to bring food to his brothers. When David heard Goliath's challenge, he didn't react with fear, but with outrage. David to soldiers. "Who is this giant who dares to insult the armies of the living God?" While others trembled, David stepped forward and volunteered to fight. King Saul in his tent, desperate, weary. King Saul, paralyzed by fear, tried to give David his own armor, but David refused. David, "I cannot fight in these. I will face him my way." No swords, no armor, just a sling and 5 smooth stones. David walking into the valley alone. Goliath towering, sneering. Goliath laughing. "Am I a dog that you send a boy with sticks?" The Philistine army laughed, but David's eyes never wavered. David shouting, "You come to me with sword and spear, but I come to you in the name of the Lord Almighty." David running toward Goliath, slinging a stone with precision. With a single, well-placed stone, David struck the giant between the eyes. Goliath collapsed, the earth shaking beneath him. Goliath's massive body hitting the ground. Silence across the valley. The Israelite army erupting in cheers, Philistines fleeing. One boy, one stone, an entire nation saved. David holding Goliath's sword triumphantly. But the victory wasn't just military, it was spiritual. David's courage reignited a nation's faith. David returning home, crowds cheering, but King Saul watching darkly from his throne. David's victory made him a hero, but heroes breed envy. King Saul grew suspicious, watching the boy who had done what no man dared. Older David standing on a palace balcony looking over Jerusalem. David's triumph over Goliath was just the beginning. The shepherd boy would become a warrior, a fugitive, a king, but he would always be remembered as the boy who defeated a giant. This story teaches us an important lesson of bravery, courage, and faith. It was with immense faith that David faced Goliath and emerged victorious. From the giant Goliath attitude, we also learned that pride leads to fall, and one should never underestimate their opponent. Most importantly, if you are standing up for the right, the Lord will always give you strength. Children have a lot to learn from the short story. This is a historical tale. It talks of bravery, courage, and standing up for the right. If children see any of their classmates bullying someone or troubling another child, they should not be afraid of them. They should never think of themselves as weak instead. They should inform a teacher or an adult and stop the wrong. The giant also represents any hurdles that one might face in life. And with faith and heart, one can emerge victorious over everything, be a difficult task or preparing for a daunting exam. Watch this short Bible story to remember that nothing is impossible. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.